ChatGPT is making some business owners filthy rich, and most entrepreneurs have no idea it's happening right under their noses. See, the truth is you can get ahead of 99% of business owners right now with AI because most of them are still using ChatGPT like a glorified Google search, and it's writing emails and summarizing meetings that shouldn't be happening, and like stuff that doesn't actually move the needle on money, on revenue. So today I'm going to show you the 5 ChatGPT hacks and how you can use them to blow up your business in the next 90 days. My goal is to help you double your revenue so fast it can almost feel a little illegal, even if you're just starting off. So let's get into it. Number 1, build your business twin. And here's the deal. If ChatGPT isn't giving you the answers that sound like it knows your business, it's not because it's broken. You just never told it who you are. So like most people open ChatGPT and they start typing. And like, that's why their outputs kind of suck. That's why they're generic. It doesn't know what your revenue is or your offer is or your team size, or your customer, your margins, like what are your bottlenecks. So it just gives you advice that sounds smart, but it's not really that great and nothing really changes in your bank account, right? So here's what you should do. First and foremost, open up the voice mode because it's so much easier. And you say, look, interview me to build a master prompt. That's the key word I want you to focus on here today. Master prompt as the owner of my business, and just ask me anything that you need, and you like, boom, send. It'll start firing off questions at you, and you just talk. That's the goal. Just be messy. Don't filter yourself. Just answer the questions. Whatever it happens, like just answer all the questions. And when it's done, I want you to ask it to organize the whole thing into one clean master prompt and then save it. And all you do is you take that save file, like the instructions, and I want you to drop it into your custom instructions under the settings in ChatGPT and just watch what happens. Every answer it gives you from now on is basically built off of your actual business. So it can draft out your SOPs, it can stress test your pricing or score your hires or audit your offer or like write your sales scripts. All of it, but just like locked into you. So here's the coolest part. You can use the same master prompt for any AI model. It doesn't have to be ChatGPT. It could be Claude or Gemini. Like, it doesn't matter. You've built the foundation one time and you can use this thing forever, so it becomes an asset. So this is step 1, but without it, nothing else in this video works. Number 2, productize your prompts. And this is where most people like stop using GPT like a search engine and just start using it like a real asset, like it should be, right? So here's the move, and here's what you should do. Every time you figure out a prompt that actually works, like something that writes your cold emails really well or qualifies or like builds your service proposals or like audits your offer, scripts your follow-ups, whatever it is, if it does it really well, you don't just save it, you want to productize it. So here's how you build a product out of your GPTs. You want to describe the output that you want, and then you got to do a good job at like describing the constraints and the tone and the structure and the format. And then you just refine it inside one of those ChatGPT canvases until the output is exactly what you'd be proud to send to a client. And then you just say, hey, look, write me a detailed system prompt that would actually have this reliably generated every time, like this exact output. And you hit enter, and basically what comes back is like a stencil, right? You remember when you're a kid, you just kind of stenciled and copied things in. So you copy it, you paste it into a new chat, you run it, and it really should be the same quality output every single time. So once you have that system, you now drop that system prompt into a custom GPT. So you go to the custom GPTs, you click custom, add it, whatever, you name it, and then you just assign this one a role. Like, here's my cold email GPT, here's my proposal GPT, here's my onboarding GPT, here's my customer support GPT, whatever it is. If you have team members, they don't have to be brilliant. They just have to use the tool that you made for them so that your output stays consistent, so it's on brand, so it's on strategy. And here's the part that nobody's talking about. These system prompts are really the future of intellectual property inside of your business. Sounds weird, I know, but when somebody goes to buy your company one day, they're going to pay a higher multiple because you have these things, right? The reason McDonald's has been so successful over the years is because any dumb teenager can go click hamburger and it pops out a hamburger, right? So you've coded your own operating systems into these prompts that any human being can run. You just give them the prompt and it basically does the work for them. Like, that's not productivity, that's equity in a business. Number 3, run your business in projects. Projects. Like, are you using projects folders in GPT yet? No, you should be, because most people open up ChatGPT and ask one question and like close the tab. And then they open a new chat tomorrow and they start from 0 like every single time. That's not the leverage. That's like labor and extra steps, right? So here's how really good people do it. On the left side of ChatGPT, you want to click new project and give it a name, and like one per department, right? Whether it's sales or marketing or hiring or finance, like whatever pieces of your business that you really want to to work on. And then you load it up and upload everything inside of there. Upload your customer research, upload pricing tests and brand voice and campaign data, meeting transcripts, proposals, proposals that you didn't win, whatever it is, like export emails and PDFs, throw them inside of there. Like everything inside that chat project gets smarter. So let me give you a real example. I was helping a business owner write up follow-up emails for a launch. And instead of just starting cold, I dropped his entire customer survey, has his last 3 launch emails, his brand voice guide, his offer document. I dropped it all into the project folder. And then I just said, hey, look, write me like 5 follow-up emails for this launch. And I want you to match the tone of like these past emails. And I want you to lean into the top 3 objections from this survey that we asked. And what came back was like almost ready to ship and send, and like no rewriting from scratch. No generic AI voice, just sharp emails that actually sounded like him. And so like that's the compounding context here. The more you feed it, the better the output gets, like forever and ever and ever. And this is the part that makes everyone else's ChatGPT feels like a toy compared to yours or mine. Number 4, use it as your devil's advocate. And this one's my favorite, absolutely, because let's be honest, ChatGPT for the most part is way too nice to us, like at least until Terminator happens and they kill all of us, right? But every business owner I've worked with hits this same wall. So like you build something, you launch it, you think it's really good, and everyone around you, your team and your friends and your family and your customers, like they're all too nice to tell you the truth. Like this is what kills business. Like if your product, your marketing, your offer sucks, nobody's gonna tell you that out loud. So the thing that kills businesses is not bad strategy, it's unchallenged strategy. Like someone should challenge, poke holes in it. And the problem by default is ChatGPT is like a total yes man. It's trained to make you feel good. So you've got to break that programming. And here's 3 things you should do. First, magic triggers. Stop asking things like, what do you think? Like that's too much of a softball because it's gonna be like, I think it's a great idea. I think you're the smartest person on the planet. Like it's just dumb. You got to say something like, I want you to audit this using first principles. Or like, I want you to act as my fiercest competitor and tear this thing apart. Like, don't be polite, be ruthless, like just make sure you're really hammering me home, right? Second, we call it shadow boxing. And before you do a sales call or a pitch or a launch, like tell ChatGPT to simulate this meeting I'm walking into. I want you to play as the skeptical buyer. I'll pitch this and I want you to push back on every weakness. I want you to try to talk me down on price. So by the time that you actually walk into like a real call or meeting, you've already probably lost the argument like 3 or 4 times. And so you walk in sharper and more prepared than anyone else in the room. Third, that blind spot check. So you want to drop your strategy in and ask one big question, like based on everything you know about my business, what are the gaps in my reasoning? So I've watched this one save people from like launching the wrong offer, the wrong product service, like hiring the wrong person, pricing themselves out of a market. Like every single time AI can catch something that you would have just like walked right past, right? So the most expensive decisions in business, again, they're not the bad ones, they're the unchallenged ones. So this one prompt is cheaper than therapy and more useful than any coach that you probably ever hire. Number 5, I want you to use it as your chief of staff. And here's something that nobody's talking about right now, that running a business is kind of lonely. You can't like dump on your team. You can't bring your home problems to your company. You can't bring your company problems to your home, to your spouse. And you can't always reach out to your coach or your mentor at midnight when like something is keeping you up at night. So that's where ChatGPT actually becomes something a little bit different. Not a tool, like a mirror. 0 emotional baggage, 0 schedule. Just here's 3 ways to use it. First, you want to vomit dump. Sounds really good, right? So you just open the voice mode and say, listen, I'm just gonna rant for 5 minutes about everything that's stressing me out. Don't interrupt me. When I'm done, I want you to organize into 3 lists. 1 is problems that I can solve today. 2 is problems I should be delegating. And 3 is noise that I should ignore. And then you just talk, you get it all out. You feel like 10 pounds lighter in 5 minutes, right? And you'll always walk away with an action plan. Second, the reframe. Say you just lost a deal. Say you hired someone and it didn't work out. Say your next launch flopped, your webinar flopped, like whatever it is. Look, I just took a big loss, massive loss, a crazy loss, whatever it is. And I want you to reframe this using stoic principles. Tell me why this is actually an opportunity. Push back if I disagree. And even when you're not convinced, it kind of slows that spiral down instantly. Clarity comes a lot faster. And look, you can use stoic principles. You can call it Tony Robbins, act as Tony Robbins. What would Tony say in this situation? Whatever it was, but whatever it's going to do to at least get it out of your head and get it out of your gut, give it out of your nervous system, and then organize your thoughts. It's the same thing as journaling, just in this new age. And then third, we have the decision conversation. So are you about to make a big move? Are you about to quit something? Are you about to start something? Are you about to fire someone? Are you about to sign a deal? You just go to ChatGPT or whatever and you say, hey, look, I'm about to do X. Here's my logic, here's my reasonings. Let's have a conversation and please challenge me where I'm weak. And again, be ruthless, be pointed, be direct, whatever it is. So you don't have to take this advice. In fact, please don't just take random advice from an AI response, right? The language model. The value isn't in the answer, it's in the conversation that helps you kind of find out your own answer. Here's the one thing I need you to do here today. Go build your master prompt, just that one, the one that we talked about at the beginning, because everything else in this video kind of compounds on that. And listen, do me a favor, if you really found this helpful, I've recorded a bunch of other videos, and I recorded one in particular breaking down the 5 business ideas that you can start in 2026. And I'll put the link somewhere here. And if you're trying to build a business, trying to grow your business, I think that video is really going to help you. So go check out that one next.